Tonight, your voice is heard.
Your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have to create a more perfect union.
Tonight, change happens.
And so all men of goodwill will go to the polls on November the 3rd. And I hope we will have a great day in our nation so that when we wake up on the 4th of November, we will know that America has made the right decision.
Mark your calendars for What's in It for the Black People Media special election night coverage. This is the nation's only culturally specific digital platform that respects the black community's diverse viewpoints. We're here for you. Tonight, the only place to stay on top of 2020 election night coverage is on the Maze Jackson page on Facebook and Maze Jackson on YouTube. It all starts tonight at 7.
You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote.
Protected by Women is going both ways. Trigger with Instructor Mike on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Oh, it's going both ways. When do you all stand up and say we are not about to sit here and let you tarnish the reputation of our brother, right? Whether he did good or not, let's be honest. Maybe we didn't reach out to Superintendent Johnson. Maybe we didn't attend the CAPS meetings. Maybe there were some things we could have done in the policing to be better. We don't want to make that admission, but we are not about to let you tarnish the reputation of a man simply because you did what some of us do. We fuck and then we go. You came or you didn't. Apparently, Johnson was good because you wanted the Oscar Mayer wiener. You were trying to get bars sucking on stars. I'm just saying, lady, you did what you wanted to do and you did it well. For 3 fucking years, who gets raped for that long? And you carry a gun every day. You see women who catch their spouses cheating and kill them right then and there. You had the power and the legal ability under 720 ILCS 5 section 7-1 in defense of yourself. You are authorized to use deadly force to stop a forcible felony, but it's hard to stop a forcible felony when you're sucking on it under a melody. I'm just saying, stop with the bullshit. Yeah, I'm not going. Only on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Whatever happened to you falling in that grocery store?
Your guess is as good as mine. My auntie said she knew someone. I gave her all the information, but that was 3 weeks ago and I still haven't heard anything.
You still got time to talk to the lawyers at the CLN.
The CLN? What's that?
It's the Chicago Legal Network, a group of fraternities that concentrate in many areas of law, especially the laws most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. Plus, all the lawyers at the CLN all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community.
Sounds like I definitely need to contact them.
Say less. I can text you everything you need to know. So if you're ever injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. That's 773-912-3545. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation.
WIIFTVPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans,
I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
you want to crown them? Then crown their ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only.
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
How do you follow that promo? Oh, my God. Damn.
I'm just trying to get unblocked.
That was amazing. I'm sitting here like, man, what's going on, you all? This is Trigger with Instructor Mike. I am your host, Instructor Mike. I forget. Sometimes I say stuff and forget that I said that. Like, I just said that, but I still meant it. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, go on and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're watching on Facebook, go on ahead and like the Maze Jackson page. All right. And go on ahead and hit those stars. How could you not hit those stars after an amazing promo like that? I'm not talking about me. It would have been amazing if somebody else said that shit. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, you said we needed a good laugh right now. That's correct. All right, if you're watching on Facebook, go on ahead and share this. You know what today is. Today is voting day. It's November 3rd. Yay, it's super. This is a Super Tuesday, is it? Whatever. I don't know what it's called. Whatever it is, Tuesday. Okay, it's a nice, super duper Tuesday. It's a nice day to be out there voting. Okay, vote, 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 vote. Now, of course, you know I'm going to trigger you. I would not be Instructor Mike if I did not trigger you. And shouts out to Herb Howard and Tucson Warner on I Said What I Said. I saw that shit, Herb. Of course, he got the shirt from me, so I go on to see what he was going to do. And he came in with the bandolier of doggone ammo. I was like, you'll never see me wearing that, but that's a nice touch. That was amazing. All right, so yes, this is going to be one of those shows where I am going to talk about not just voting, but I'm going to even talk about who I voted for. Why? Because I don't give a fuck. Because I'm going to tell you exactly who I voted for, all the way from the president down to all these other folks. And I'm going to give you some other things in terms of, and some of you already know probably who I voted for, but I probably voted for some people you probably didn't think, and some people you probably did. I don't know. But I definitely want to tell you to vote your interest. I went in, I did early voting yesterday.
How was that?
I live in the 17th ward, so my alderman is David Moore. I like David Moore.
I love David.
David Moore is amazing because he's not just an alderman that's just talk, he's action. I love that. Like, I love that he takes a stand. He doesn't have a problem going against stuff, when it's not appropriate. So I love David Moore. Shouts out to him. Even though when he first started, he kind of did something I ain't like, but the two are mutually exclusive. I like him. He's a great alderman. That being said, I liked it because it was electronic, so the whole Sharpie thing, I know what they're talking about. That's like on voting day when you actually have to, vote, use a Sharpie, and then put it in the actual ballot box. Where we were, it was all touchscreen. Okay, so I've done touchscreen voting when I lived in the suburbs, so I'm well aware of how that works, and it was amazing. The one thing I love about it is those people who follow me, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm not conservative or liberal. I'm an independent. Like them both, fuck them both is what it is. And so, what's up, Herb? I saw that shit.
Twin. What up, twin?
Yeah, what up, twin? You did a good job, Herb. You did a good job. And that was a great conversation, Herb. Sidebar. I wish I could have been in that conversation. I would have liked to have talked to that other lady. So maybe I might want to come in on Relationship Fridays so we could talk, and I'll wear a non-Instructor Mike shirt and we can talk that, because that's going to be some great stuff. But we'll talk later, Herb. I like it. Yesterday, I was really able to vote my interest. I really was. Because in previous elections, I saw where you had to pick a side. Like, they would just ask you whether you're Republican or Democrat. And I'm like, why do I have to pick a side? Well, that's just what it is in this election. I'm like, shit. So, kind of went Democrat on that side because the percentage of the people that I was going to vote for were Democrats. So I didn't want to get the Republican side because there were some Republicans I liked, but they weren't on that ticket. So I had to pick a side. But yesterday's election was, the election was just amazing. So, oh yeah, for sure. We'll talk, Herb. I really want to get to some things about the ballot yesterday, and I got the receipt. So whatever I tell you I did, I got the proof. I took pictures of my shit and video too. So I want to get to that when we look at who to vote for. So I'm looking at a couple of voters' guides. The one thing that I saw that was confusing is there seems to be a lot of confusion on the voters' guides as to who should vote for who and for what. So whatever the reason is to vote for whomever, I leave that to whomever has the agenda, whatever. I will say this. Vote for your interest, whatever interest you. So I'm a firearms instructor, and I advocate for the people to be able to have the tools to defend themselves and also have the ability to be able to stay away from conflicts and avoid conflicts and things like that. Yeah, I got you. To a vote, I saw a comment that got sidetracked, to be able to avoid conflicts and conflict resolution. So if you already know that my interest is firearms, between the two presidents, who do you think I voted for? I'll leave that to you. Firearms. Say less. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to vote for the person who will do the best that they can through executive orders, and should the houses of Congress sway in that way, because we had that happen before. The Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994 was a Democratic initiative started by Joe Biden, because I did the project on it in my master's program, so I'm well aware of what the Violent Crime and Law Enforcement Act of 1994 is about. He was the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee at the time. So that was his initiative. So he's well aware of what it takes to be able to do an initiative like that again. I can't have that. I'm sorry that professionally and personally, I don't want to be limited in my ability to be able to defend myself against criminals who are not going to obey the law when it comes down to my safety. Before we can even, you know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we talked about that already. We can't even get to a conversation of having an environment conducive to learning if my safety is in jeopardy. So why would I jeopardize my safety and the safety of all you all who went out and purchased guns? You remember the pandemic, the George Floyd and the massive Illinois gun purchases and things like that. Why would I go with that? Now, there was another little piece of trickery that is not on the voter's guide. You see the proposed tax amendment thing, and on the voter's guide, several Democratic voters' guides, it says vote no. Well, I did that. I voted no. I'm not for that fair tax thing because it's a play that we're not seeing, and it doesn't add up. So I voted no for that. But yeah, that's one. But there was another thing on the ballot, and I'm gonna get to it. Because I took a picture. Actually, yeah, there it is. Right, come on up. Okay. Vote on no, wait. Nope, not that person. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna get to it because it's here. It's here. It's something about firearms. And if you're at the ballot now, you need to pay attention to that. Come on. Okay, here we go. So I'm sorry. I had to find it. Should the state of Illinois restrict the sale or possession of firearms that have been defined as assault weapons or of magazines that can hold more than a certain number of rounds of ammunition? Fool, do you understand what they are trying to do? They are trying to, since they lost, understand that Illinois was the last in the union to get concealed carry. So all of you all who are carrying concealed right now, most for self-defense, for some for insecurity. You get it. Most of you all who are carrying concealed now, that was made possible not by your politicians. Don't believe that they love you enough to help you be able to carry concealed. That was made possible by a great friend of mine, Rhonda Ezell versus the city of Chicago, who attacked. She's the founder of Chicago Guns Matter. Her lawsuit was one of the primary lawsuits, along with McDonald versus Chicago and NRA versus Chicago, that made it possible for July 9th, 2013, my birthday, July 9th, 2013, where the Concealed Carry Act was signed into law. That made it the law of the land. And they were forced to do that by the court orders in that given situation. Okay? And so, since they can't control, in essence, the possession of the firearm except by qualifiers, they are going to try to limit the number of rounds that you can carry in your magazine. And they're going to try to minimize it to what the Cook County ban is, and that is 10. I'm going to tell you that as a avid shooter, as a combat veteran, as a military, as a law enforcement veteran, okay? And I can tell you someone who has been in shootings. Call it what you will. Ask anyone who's been in shootings. Matter of fact, you ain't got to listen to me. Talk to your guys in the streets, right? Talk to the fam. Talk to the, free the guys in them. Talk to the guys. They will tell you that 10 rounds in a magazine isn't enough. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have that dumbass 33-round mag or, some extended magazine, but 10 rounds in a magazine is not enough. And notice, they didn't state here 10. They didn't state 10, so they said a certain number of rounds of ammunition. You're going to fuck around and get the Glock 43 where you can only carry 6 rounds. That's enough, right? See, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. They're not going to minimize that for the police, but they want to minimize that for you. See, instruments like this and measures like this is how they were able to pass the Cannabis Act, where they were able to legalize cannabis, taking into consideration, without us even paying attention to that, the fact that they will still give you the license to be able to carry concealed, right? Because in essence, it could be kind of entrapment. So they'll give you the license to be able to carry concealed after having legalized marijuana. But the possession of the tool itself is under the exclusive control of the federal government. So you can get the license all day, but you can't get the car to drive. You can get the license all day, but you can't get the gun to operate. And even if you do get the gun, now we can sit there and control how much ammo is in the mag. So now when we sit there and take your guns from you and then we check your magazine, we can go ahead and get a twofer. We can get a double felony charge on you, right? So that answer should have been no. If you are at the ballot and you got to pay attention, you got to pay attention. Don't be so fucking quick to get to the people you want to vote yes for, to where you just blindly vote yes and answer that question. That is going to have a detriment. It's going to have a detrimental effect to the magazines that you have and the ability, especially, let's talk facts. You know damn well you are not going to the range to practice. You know damn well you are not dry firing at home. You know damn well all the other body mechanical things that you need to be doing to stay on top of your skills. You know damn well you're not doing it. Why? Because you're too busy doing other shit. You're fighting on Facebook, raising kids, cooking, going to work, going to school, fucking other kinds of things that you are doing. You are not staying on top of your fire. I said fucking, you knew it was coming. You are saying you are doing other things instead of learning how to shooting under stress. So why would you decrease the chances that you need to successfully hit your threat when you aren't practicing to hit your threat with the minimum number of rounds needed under a stress-induced physiological and psychological situation? Don't kid yourself. Vote no on that bullshit. Okay? Now do what you want. Vote your interest. If you want to, fuck it, whatever. John Cooper shouts out, sent 500 stars. Good deal, good deal. All right? Now, I was really, really happy to see some judicial names on the ballot. Matter of fact, there's a lot of judges on there. How many of you all recognize some of the judges on the, you say you dry fire at home, not weekly but monthly, good deal. How many of you actually recognize some of the judicial names that were actually on the ballot? I'm not talking about the voter's guide, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about the actual ballot. See, this is the reason why, and if you've been paying attention to my show and you've been paying attention to me talking about a child not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. All of those judges are in different areas in Cook County. Some are in the criminal division. Some are in chancellery, dealing with family matters and stuff like that. This is why we need to start having, and should have been having, right? But we need to start having conversations about people's involvements in the court system, not just the criminal courts, the court system. Has anybody bothered to reach out to Jesse Jackson Jr.? Has anybody bothered to reach out, hell, even to Kells? Has anybody bothered to reach out to some of our kids that have been involved in the criminal justice system? Has anybody bothered to reach out to fathers trying to be in the lives of their children, or mothers trying to get fathers to do what they should be doing? Have we reached out and listened to them and their stories, and listened to the judges and how the judges treated the people? Have we done that? Because I was happy to see some names on there that I knew personally, not personally by way of, well, you were the police. No, that was a few people's names who I knew personally, being the police and stuff like that. But, I'll give you one name. Matter of fact, one name in particular is Tyra B. Walton. Now, there's nobody else to vote for. That's the vacancy of Crawford in the first sub-circuit. You can't help but vote yes for her. Well, you could really vote no, but vote yes for her. She was a great public defender. And I'm saying this even though I, being the police, was on the other side. But she was always fair. She did her job. She was a great public defender. I was happy to see her, be appointed to judge and now being elected to judge. I don't know if this is her first or second time going, but it was great to see her on the ballot and actually being, one of the only ones to be selected. So it was amazing. But when you blindly vote yes without understanding how these people treat us in the court system, and I'm going to give you a fucking story in a minute, because there's another judge, excuse me, there's another judge whose name is, name was on the ballot. Her name is Ursula Wolowski. Okay. Now she wasn't she was recommended, but she was not on anybody's ballot. It was 275. That's what her number is, 275. I was happy to vote for her. Happy to vote yes for her. Why? Because of my personal experience. Many of you who know me, you know I've been arrested before. You know I've been falsely arrested before. She was the judge in my case where I was falsely arrested, but she was not the first judge that the case was assigned to. The case was first assigned to, I'm going to remember her name. She was in room 401, black lady. Okay. I'm going to think about her name. I don't want to say Dubois, something like that, but it's a French sounding last name, black older lady, gray hair, in the domestic violence division. Okay. Now we're talking about, black men that get set up for shit because of a person who's angry. That's clearly what the case was. And I'll be the first person to tell you what's going on, Steph. I'll be the first person to tell you, men, if you get into a situation, you better pull out that phone and start recording before the situation gets hot, because it's not the truth that sets you free. It's the proof of the truth that sets you free. And so I had the video evidence to be able to show what I did to defend myself. The police didn't want to hear shit that I had to say. The state's attorney, we're going to talk about that race in a minute, didn't want to hear shit that I had to say. Do you hear me? But guess who gave me a fighting chance? Judge Ursula Wolowski. That's how I remember that name. But guess what I had to do? I had to get to Judge Wolowski's courtroom. So I'm in the court, okay, and this is a domestic battery. And I don't have no problem talking about this shit, because that's what we don't do. We don't talk about the situations to have a lesson that we can learn from that. So I'm in the courthouse. And while everybody else is paying attention to, trying to get the baby mama, the woman, or husband, whomever, or boyfriend to drop the charges, which is typically what happens in the galley or in the court area where you're waiting, and this is obviously pre-COVID, I'm sitting here looking at the judge to see how the decorum of the courtroom is, to see how she treats the defendants, to see how she treats the not the plaintiffs, but the Jesus Christ, not the prosecution, but you get what I'm saying, the defendant, and even the alleged or actual victim. I say alleged or actual victim because some people are good at playing a system to play like they're a victim, and there's no evidence to counter that. Okay, it said I froze. So you can still hear me. We're gonna keep on going, and so I'm in there and I'm listening to the judge. Okay, and so with one case, the defendant had appeared. It was a man. The defendant had appeared before the judge, and the victim had appeared before the judge. She was treating the victim like heaven, like everything was great. Y'all talking about their facial expression. She frozen, right? She was treating the victim like heaven, no matter what she said, very nice tone and everything. But the defendant was trying to state his claim, that I didn't do this, whatever the case might have been, and she did not want to hear it, And so I noticed that no matter what, and it wasn't just that case, it was a case of a Hispanic male with his girlfriend, he wasn't being treated fair either. So at that moment, I made the determination that no one was going to be treated fairly if you were a defendant, and especially if you were a man. So I had to think of something to do. So I was playing on my phone, even though I shouldn't have been playing on it, whatever. Can you guys still hear me? We good to go? Okay. Yeah, I was playing on my phone. And then I began to look through statutes. 725 Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 5 is the Code of Criminal Procedure. And I began to look through section 114-5, I believe that's what that section is. And so it's pretty much a trump card, pun intended, is a trump card that you can use in that given situation where you're able to claim that there's a general allegation of prejudice against that the judge may have against the defendant. And so I was able to read up on that statute real quick, look at the case law, and sneak around the sheriff, not paying attention. So my name was called, I'm going before the court, and I'm going to get her name. Even if I go back, because I'm going to put this judge out there. She is not on the bench anymore, and it's a good thing that she's not. But I think it's Judge Dubois. That's what her name is. Yep, Judge Dubois. Yeah, she was in branch 4. She was in branch, I forgot what branch, but she was in room 401. She's no longer on the bench anymore, and thank God. But when I got my name called up, you know, she automatically, black judge, right? You want to vote all black. You need to know it's more than just your skin color, it's your ability or whatever vices and situations you have. So I'm sitting here in front of the judge, and she's like, all right, so you're being charged with domestic battery, 720 ILCS 5, section 12-3.2. How do you plead? Not guilty. All right, well, are you ready to go to trial now? Already. Now, I know the process. Trial is not the first thing we're going into. What about discovery? So I'm acting as my own counsel. I'm like, no, Your Honor, I want to make an oral motion for discovery and set it down for a date for status in the event that state can't tender discovery. So now I sound like I'm the lawyer, like I knew what I'm talking about. You sound like an uppity Negro. Oh, yeah, it's like an uppity-ass Negro. Who are you to know the law more than me? Oh, and if you think that's something, wait till we get to when I had her ass removed from the bench. Here we go, or from that case. So, all right, she passes the case. I end up getting discovery. Now, if you understand in misdemeanor cases, in felony cases, it's reciprocal discovery. Both sides are sharing discovery. But in misdemeanor cases, state has to tender discovery. The defendant doesn't have to tender discovery to the state because that's a misdemeanor case unless the procedure is changed. So I get discovery. She's ready for me to set it down for a date for trial. And I'm like, I haven't even viewed discovery. She's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to, seek leave to file another motion. What is that motion? A motion to remove the judge for a general allegation of prejudice. She was wearing glasses. You should have seen her. She was like, that, excuse me, motherfucker, do you know who I am? So I was like, she didn't say that, but she was like, okay, I'll hear your argument. Yeah, pursuant to Chapter 725, Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, Section 114-5, within 10 days of the case being placed on a trial call, which today would be the first day, I am allowed to file a general allegation of prejudice pursuant to the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause, and I feel that the decorum of justice will not be in my favor because of how I seen you treat the other defendants in this matter, and I'm allowed within 10 days to be able to file that motion. Well, you better have that motion on my desk. And that response right there is exactly why I'm doing that, because that wasn't even necessary. So she allowed me to pass the case. And so what the fuck do I know about what I'm about to do? So what do? Go Google shit. Do you understand that judges have to do, judges and lawyers, everybody I don't know about judges so much, but lawyers have to do continuing ed. And a lot of the opinions and legal critiques and, training, that stuff's online. So I began to Google it, and I found that there was a Cook County judge out in the 5th District, the Rolling Meadows District, who wrote about the very thing that I had made a motion for. So I'm reading on it, reading the case law on it, and I'm sitting here drafting my motion, served it and the notice of motion upon the state, and went before the judge. And I'm going to tell you that the trickery that she tried. She was like, well, we're coming before the court in the case of People versus Michael Brown on the motion to remove the judge for a general allegation of prejudice. And I find that the motion was served upon the state in a timely fashion, and it did reach my desk in a timely fashion. I just have one question for you, Mr. Brown. If you could remove my name from the motion, and then if you make a motion, oral motion, to remove my name from the motion, I can then rule on the motion. Now, she said rule. She didn't say approve. If you don't understand what those terms mean, rule on the motion means it could go in your favor or against you. And so I remember a case. I think it was either People versus Johnson or People versus Cortez. It was an Illinois appellate case, one of the two, where in that case, the motion failed because the person toward whom you're claiming a general allegation is not on the motion. So it fails because it states a reason, but you're not stating who you're claiming has a prejudice against you. And so I returned that. I said, respectfully, Your Honor, I'm going to have to decline your request because if I remove your name, it's a blank motion. It just states I have a problem, but doesn't state towards whom I have that problem. She was fucking pissed, and she had no other choice but to grant that motion. And then once she granted it, she passed it to the chief judge of the domestic violence division, and then it got assigned to Judge Ursula Wolowski. So then when I go in her court, now we're ready to set it down for trial. Tried a couple other motions, and they didn't work, but I tried it, whatever. And it was time to go to trial. So I had plenty of exhibits. What's going on, Tawana? How are you? I had plenty of exhibits. I had plenty of, evidence and stuff like that, and my video. And once I was able to try the state's star witness, ex-girlfriend, I didn't do it emotionally. And that's another thing. You got Remember, I've said it before, avoid having your ego so closely connected to your position that when your position falls, your ego falls with it. If you're defending yourself, and I've seen clients do that, there is a statement that a person who defends himself has a fool for a client. Why? You're so emotionally connected to that case, you're not thinking outside the box. And so I had to separate myself from myself to defend myself as though I was not myself, if that makes sense. And so able to question her appropriately using direct, leading questions, because as cross-examination, I'm able to do that. And just the lies that she said, it was funny, but I didn't get emotionally disturbed by it because I knew the scenario. I knew what she was going to possibly say. I knew, when you know your situation, you know where you can go and what you can ask and what a person will likely do, because I know you. I know where you're going to go with it. And so having said all that, the very last piece of evidence that I presented to the judge, and I'm going to tell you how the fucking state's attorney, that office is just ripe with bullshit, and it needs reform, but there are some good state's attorneys too. But there's some fucking assholes too, regardless of race, on both sides. But when I'm in this situation, I give the video to the state's attorney, who then views it. And then I give it, and then the state gives it to the judge. The judge views it, her face drops, state's attorney's face drops, because the video doesn't even show what was alleged in the complaint. You see me telling this person multiple times to leave, citing all kind of statutes, person coming towards me, trying to throw keys at me, trying to fight me, and me clearly defending myself with the tactic that I use, which is totally different from the allegation that was made on the face of the complaint. And the state's attorney, even though they saw that evidence, was like, well, clearly, Your Honor, he didn't commit domestic battery, but he's guilty of reckless conduct. And Judge Ursula Wolowski punched 275. Look, Ursula Wolowski was like, I can't even find him guilty of that. He shouldn't have never even been arrested. Mr. Brown, you're not guilty. You're free to go. And that right there, yes, the original judge was removed from the case. And that's what because I'm answering a question on here, Robert Cannon. Yes, the original judge was removed from the case, and that goes against their record. See, the people fail for the lack of knowledge. This is probably the first time you all have ever heard of a 725 ILCS 5 114-5. That's the one card that you have right there, which is the card to be able to remove a judge you think will be prejudicial against you. And as long as you file the case timely, you'll at least get a different judge. Now, you can get a different good judge or a different bad judge, which means you need to play that card wisely, which means instead of sitting here and getting all emotional about your shit, yes, you got fucking arrested. You need to move forward and plan your defense, okay? Pay attention to what the judge is doing. You got time. Get the fuck off your phone. Get the fuck off of Facebook and pay the fuck attention to what the judge is doing, because that's what's going to let you know how they're going to treat your ass. Okay? So I was able to play that card, and it worked in my favor. And before I even got to Judge Wolowski's courtroom, I did research on her. So I learned online, yeah, absolutely, Alvin, Ursula Wolowski, she's on my, you said she wasn't on my no good list. Okay, good, I'm sorry. I was about to jump the gun. I was about to say somebody said she was no good. She used to be a state's attorney, but she even said, because you get this, why do you want to be a judge, stuff like this, what's this? She was a state's attorney, but she said she got tired of, locking folks up to the point where she wanted to be on the bench to make a difference. When I saw that in that op-ed that was on her, I was like, that's how I know I'm in the hands of somebody who's going to give me a chance. And my ex-girlfriend tried to say, well, you guys are doing that because he's a police officer. When I got arrested, that was the worst time to be the police, to be in trouble. They gonna bang your ass because they know you know the law. You know better. She tried it. I objected, and the judge sustained that, because that has no merit here. Nice try. But if he had did something to you, even Nicole Brown Simpson has some pictures of an ass whooping that OJ gave her, and we still see those pictures today. You can Google it. Where are your ass whoop photos? Nice try, motherfucker. So what I'm saying is, you have to be a zealous member of your own defense, and you need to know the judges who are not for fairness. Had this Judge Dubois, had she been on the list, some of you fucks would have voted for her solely because she's black, or someone told you vote for her because she's black and she, sings Amazing Grace, and she wears pearls and attends your church, but you don't know a damn thing about what she does to the people who fall prey both righteously and unrighteously, to the court system. I'll give you another name. Judge Edward, where's his last? I'm going to get to it. Here we go. I got it right here. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just sharing with you my stories, okay? Judge Edward A. Arce. Okay? Now, he is not a criminal judge, but he is a judge in, if you got baby daddy, baby mama issues, marriage issues, divorce, he is that kind of a judge. Man, some of you all know me, and some of you all remember when I was going through the situation with the mother of my youngest children. By the way, you know, she's an amazing person. You know, we just had a little, our issue at the time. And so that's why I advocate for pushing forward and being great and, you know, stuff like that. But she, you know, when I was going through what I was going through, I had to take it to the courts, you know, so that I can be in my kid's life and stuff like that. You know, we're not going to get into semantics about that, but long and short of it is he was such a fair judge. He did not take sides. He just wanted the resolution. He didn't get into the, you know, it wasn't personal for him. He heard both sides. He wanted a resolution. We were able to work out things. Yeah, child support too. We were able to work out the things that we needed to work out, and you just got that attitude of fairness from him, that he wasn't taking sides. How many of you all have horror stories or stories of triumph from the judges, both civil and criminal, that you had to deal with? Those are what you should take into the ballot, not someone's suggestion as to vote for this person. I'll give you another name. I don't know it's going to piss some folks off, but I don't give a shit. Cynthia Cobbs. Yeah. So here we go. I don't have anything bad to say about Cynthia, but some people told us to vote no. Look, if that's what you do and that's your experience, fuck it. I love it. It's America. You vote who you want to vote for. I love you, even though I may disagree. But with Cynthia, my personal experience is both in dealing with her in the courthouse and in dealing with her with my children's books. She used to be a social worker first, you know what I'm saying? And she used to be the type of person who would advocate, in essence, for the healing that needs to take place with our children before they even get to the courts. So why would I vote no for someone who's for that platform when we got problems in our homes before they even get to the courts? You won't have to have your ass in Judge Arce's court if you would be who the fuck you need to be so that you can marry who you need to marry, because you are who you need to be, so you can have a long-lasting and fruitful business-related love-influenced marriage. Do you hear what the fuck I said? Business-influenced, love-infused marriage. But that ain't why your ass got married. Your ass got married for love and not ability. So now you done fucked up. You stuck in fuck. Go get my book on Amazon. You stuck in fuck. And so now you got to go see Judge Edward Arce. And so when he's not fair to you, now you're fucking pissed off. Well, all of a sudden, it's your fault. You see what I'm saying? Look at Judge Anna Demopoulos. I know her both personally, you know, not kind of semi-personally. I know her by someone, but I know her professionally, having been before her in court plenty of times. There was times when I was wrong, especially on a search warrant. She chastised me. I didn't hold that personally. She made me better. You see what I'm saying? You need to have a relationship with the people locally. Locally. The judges are who matter. The state reps, the state senators, your aldermen. And yes, I voted for Willie Wilson too. So you better punch the ticket and give Willie a chance. Now, whether he's got a chance of winning, who knows? But I still gave him a chance. Why? Because he deserves one. Not because I got a show here. I can give, that doesn't influence my decisions. I'm really hard-headed. But I voted for him because we want to give him a chance. We want to give him a chance. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, Alvin. That's fine. Whatever the reason is, that's fine. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But I'm talking about my own personal experience. Vote your interest, because at the end of the day, whatever it deals with you, you're the one that's going. Shouts out to Kenneth Steele for the Unfuck My Fuck Fund for 200 stars. Oh my God. Yes, you're the one that's going to have to reap whatever the benefits are for your vote. Your vote. Okay. You say you love the voiceover. Look. Don't get me talking like Willie. You ain't gonna get him to whoop my ass. Mike, I heard you talking about me. I'm gonna come down there and whip your ass. You say my name one more time, I'm gonna come out and give you a gold country ass whipping from the boardroom to the floor. I'm gonna fuck you up if you say it again. Now say it again. Vote Willie Wilson for senator. Here we go. A question was asked. Sandra Lewis, hey, what's going on? How do we get the judges known to the general public? Well, I remember attending a judge forum. This was during the time where a former college professor of mine, who I know directly, who is now a judge, Judge Marion Perkins, if she's not up for election, but she was, and she won her seat. She's great. She really is. But in that judge forum, I didn't learn a damn thing about that platform. I just didn't. You pretty much heard the same party line. You know, I didn't hear anything. You know, you really weren't able to ask the questions that you needed to ask. And so if we want to hold our judges accountable, right, which is what we should be doing, get your ass off the freeway protesting bullshit, because I'm telling you, it's not, look, I will teach you as much as I can about law enforcement and helping you understand that there is reform that needs to happen, not just in the community, but in law enforcement as well. But every arrest has to go before a detached and neutral magistrate. How do you know the magistrate is detached and neutral if you don't hold them to the fire? You can't vote the police officers in, but you damn sure can vote those judges in. And if they know that they are going to be held to the fire, and they have to attend these forums, because if they don't, then you're going to vote them out. Then they will make their way to the forum. They will answer those questions. If they know that they don't rule the right way and they're going to be held to the fire by the people, I want you to understand, you all focus so much on fucking Amy Coney Barrett, the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, that you don't even fucking know who you're voting for today. The cases that get to her start at the local level first. You better fucking learn the law, and you better learn process and procedure and civics. Learn it. We're going to come back right after this with more with Instructor Mike and Trigger. Don't go.
Tonight, your voice is heard.
Your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have to create a more perfect union.
Tonight, change happens.
And so all men of goodwill will go to the polls on November the 3rd. And I hope we will have a great day in our nation, so that when we wake up on the 4th of November, we will know that America has made the right decision.
Mark your calendars for What's in It for the Black People Media special election night coverage. This is the nation's only culturally specific digital platform that respects the black community's diverse viewpoints. We're here for you. Tonight, the only place to stay on top of 2020 election night coverage is on the Maze Jackson page on Facebook and Maze Jackson on YouTube. It all starts tonight at 7.
You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote.
Are you ready for some authentic, delicious street tacos on the south side of Chicago? Stop by for the launch of Sissy's Taco Bar pop-up at 312 East 75th Street on Thursdays and Fridays, starting November 5th from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Experience their jerk chicken, sriracha shrimp, and blackened salmon tacos. And don't forget to ask about their Rome walking taco, Sissy street corn, and children's meal that comes with a special price. Visit sissytacobar.com for more information.
Is it really a good idea to have the same senator for 3 generations? I support term limit for all elected officials. Our senators need to bring home growth for our business community, jobs, housing, service for our senior citizens, and health care. We need new ideas and new approach to federal representation. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington, D.C. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTBPM.
Hi, y'all not about to get me in trouble over here talking about that. I'm supposed to be going out there voting for me, and you better vote for Willie Wilson. I'm not playing. Is this mic on? So you should have told me the mic was on. Hey, Mike, take your mic back, Mike.
Y'all not right. Y'all welcome. Y'all not gonna get me to do no voice. I'm telling you, he is not coming up.
I'm here to take a concealed carry class, and I heard you was talking about me. Teach me how to shoot like a bus of pop in your ass. From the boardroom to the floor room. You say that shit again, it's gonna be on. Don't let anybody know I said that. Did you vote? You better have.
All right, go vote for Willie. Give him a chance. Let's see if we could actually beat Dick. That would be
look. If I could beat Dick, does that make him a wiener? I'm sorry.
Y'all stop it. I'm gonna be in trouble. I hope you're not listening. All right. Shouts out to Willie Wilson. All right.
Out there. Right,
yeah, because you know COVID is coming back. It's coming back stronger. So we probably gonna need some more PPE. Oh my God, that shit is crazy. Don't holler. Don't do that. Oh my God, y'all are something else. Look, get a relationship with y'all better send stars while y'all sending laughing emojis. Oh my God. What's going on, Mo? Today is a good day. It really is. It feels nice outside. Just make sure you exercise your right to vote. You know, different people have different different people. Janessa and Martin.
This ass one's gonna be what's in it for the black people. It's gonna be a better cross your ass. You say it again.
All right. So going out there and vote. Go out there and vote. Some people have the opinion as to whether or not it's going to do something. Whether it does something or not, you know, is important. But at least do your duty, okay? And that's to go out there and vote. You said that. Shouts out to Boosie. That voiceover was worth all my stars. 500. That's it. Yeah, just go out there and vote. Vote your interest. Whether you vote for, you know, Kim Fox or Pat O'Brien, whether you vote for, you know, whomever, it's up to you. Just vote your interest. Let your experience be what causes you to vote for a particular person. I never have been a fan of just blind voting for one side. That's why I'm not Republican. That's why I'm not Democrat. I'm straight independent. Some Republicans I like, some I don't. Some Democrats I like, some I don't. You know, I like people that's about action. You know, after these elections, you know, we spend so much time talking about today, you know, and how some have jokingly said this is the series finale of the United States of America. Next up on Power. This is the season finale of that. You know, how many of you all are focused on the next election that's coming up? You know, we got state reps, we got, you know, we got state senators, we got, you know, U.S. senators and reps coming up for re-election, stuff like that. You know, how many of you all have begun to focus on that? Because that's where the laws that are, you know, important to us are passed. You want to say what's in it for the black people, whether the president does something or not, you know, is one thing. But how many of you all have focused on, yeah, absolutely. You know, how many of you all have focused on, you know, the potholes that need to be fixed or the legislation about what is taught in our schools? Every class that I have concealed carry, I ask people, how many of you all heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? And then when their hands don't go up and I begin to teach them about that, then they begin to see and focus on the things that have affected them. Yeah. Oh my God, Janessa. You know, yeah, who will we put in place in 2022 and 2024? That's one of the things about the Democratic Party that's kind of fucking pissed me off. It's like, you guys put you goddamn scoots in front of us. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like Trump, you can't tell me Biden is better, whatever. I don't know, whatever you vote for, I don't care, that's your thing, whatever. But Biden, if he was Obama's Biden, you know, still had a mind about him, I'm like, all right, maybe he's got a chance, but you got scoots in front of me, so you want me to go vote for my old grandfather who can't remember where he last put the gun and it's time to shoot. I don't know if that makes sense to me. I don't know. And so if you start putting up there better candidates, then you give us better options. It's like the same thing you could say about Biden was the same thing Republicans could say about McCain at the time that he ran. And then you got John McCain and then Sarah Palin. You got shit. Sarah Palin was not better. Like if John McCain died and Sarah was in, oh shit, you can see Russia from your back. No, I just, you know, so that's in one thing that could have been what gave Obama the push to actually win. We need to analyze. We need to have conversations about that. That's why I love Mays. I loved Mays' show before I even got up here. You know, I watched, whether I agreed with his opinions or not, you know, all of his opinions, that's not the point. The fucking point is to be in the room, to have a conversation and be able to have something to even fucking disagree about or have something to agree on. That's why I appreciate his show. Shouts out to Mays and the morning crew. You know, I'll always still watch that show, always, regardless, because that's where I learned about things that I didn't know about politics. You know, you learn that when you learn about something, it's not about liking them, it's about getting the information, you know. And what are you prepared to do if Trump wins? What are you prepared to do? You know, and I love what Mays said. I caught a sliver of the show this morning, and what Mays said was great. Biden don't have goons out there. Hey, motherfucker, vote Biden or not. We got titties and ass on polls. Go to the polls and work them. Work them. Now, Trump is out there ready to fuck somebody up if you don't vote for him. I'm just like, where are the Biden goons at? You know, I'm just saying, come on. You know, we need to be at the table to doggone discuss some of the things that need to be discussed so that we can learn and be better informed. You know, the slate, the election slate, right? It's more judges than it is the president and the vice president and the state's attorney. It's all the law. So you want to talk about a law and order ticket? That's what the fuck this is about. The law, the law, the law. It's the law. This is the law election. The law. You see what I'm saying? The law. Right? Yeah, it's the law election. And if we don't understand the law, then you're voting blind anyway. You're voting blind. I saw a commercial, and damn, Maze is right. I'm going to have to get the new iPad so I can go on ahead and run some of these videos and stuff like that. Because that way, Maze is right. It's a visual show. I got you, Maze. You got me on point. I'm going to spend the money and get the iPad. Because there was a video. And Mo, I'm glad you're watching. Mo, she's my high school friend. We're still friends to this day, from Texas. There is a huge silent majority of working class, steel mill, oil field, working black folks who have their jobs in great part because of the Make America Great Again initiatives by Trump. That is their interest. So you're racist, I can't stand Trump, with their, I may not have liked what he said about that shit, but I got this good ass job and I'm thinking about my family, what causes me to be able to feed my family. You got persons who are convicted felons who have received certain initiatives because of the First Step Act. Obama could have did it, he didn't do it. Trump did it, they benefited from it. I guarantee you, but Blagojevich is voting for Trump, I guarantee you that shit. The same person who helped a lot of black folks, right? The same person who got railroaded, in essence, right? Who got railroaded. Why do you think Trump released him? Because he's a silent majority. You see what I'm saying? It's all about politics. And so what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? You know, the same politicians that 2 years from this year, right, 2022, they're going to sit there and they're going to have a chicken dinner. They're going to have a basketball tournament, COVID style, and you're going to go out there and vote for them, and then after they're done, you're still going to have a hard time reaching them. You know, shouts out to LaShawn Ford. I love LaShawn Ford. LaShawn, he's a great guy. He's definitely a person about action. West Side state representative. You know what I'm saying? He's a person about action. But then you got some state reps. You can't even call them. You can't even get an appointment with them. They don't care about your issues until it's time for election. You see what I'm saying? And so why have you want to talk about riots? You want to talk about riots? Why are the aldermanic offices not being boarded up? Why are the state boy? Let me get me started some shit because they gonna come out there.
Michael, you better stop that. I got money in this show. You better stop that shit right now. Let me talk to Maze Jackson and sit here if I can see here put the 5 God in you.
Look, you got some state senators' offices who are not being boarded up. State rep offices. Why? Because they know they could still whoop your ass and do what they want to do, and you're going to vote for them because you're going to vote straight blue or you're going to vote straight red. I guarantee you, 19th Ward Alderman Matt O'Shea, they are working to get his ass out of office because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, according to some people. I'm just telling you, you want to talk about white folks, but you're not looking at their playbook. Oh, yeah. You're not listening to Maze when he's trying to give your ass the game. You want to talk about them, but you're not looking at their playbook. I guarantee you, if they don't do what is in their interest, his ass gonna be gone. But we keep the ones in office because they give us a good look. They might have given your cousin a job, but they ignore everybody else. Right? Let's not even talk about this state's attorney's race. Right? Say what you want, right? I've been fair on both sides. I love the reforms. I love her personally. But you can't sit there and reform and not whoop ass when you need to. That don't always mean you got to smack a person across the face or hit a person in their chest and shit like that. But there are other things that you can do. If I know I'm going to get screwed because the police going to get my ass and Mama State's attorney at the chief law enforcement officer of the house is going to whoop my ass if I sit here and destroy this shit, maybe I'm not going to embarrass her. Do you, Lord Jesus, do you understand? Right? Jussie Smollett, a black man, didn't give a fuck about Kim Fox in the position that he put her in to put her in the position like this. You see what I'm saying? The kids that went downtown and fucked shit up put Kim in a precarious position to have to decide if I'm gonna be for your ass or against you. Hey, who you think needs to be the head is neither here nor there. But we in the same position in that race than we are, or just like we are at the presidential election. The same position. The same position. How many times did T.T. Lori got to sit there and beg your ass to stay in the house? But people are having house parties and doing fucked up shit to make T.T. Lori look fucked up. That's what happens when you have people who don't care about what you have to do to get to where you got to get. Come on now. How do we expect somebody else to treat us like family when we fuck our own family over? We put them in positions to where now they got to sit here and do something. And when they fail to do that thing, then you want to gone ahead and kick her out. Now, I get it. Pat O'Brien, right? I get it. We don't want him to be the head of the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, but y'all was silent as fuck on Daley. Daley was in office for what, 20 plus years during his record? You're silent as fuck how many Negroes watching now voted for his ass constantly. But then you want to call balls and strikes on Pat O'Brien. The audacity of you Negroes. Be more informed. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of this. Be more informed. Be more informed. Don't be like Hillary and be like, oh, shit, I didn't say that. Well, you know, there's a video of you saying that. Well, I didn't say that shit. Don't be like President Obama. Oh, well, I'm for gay folks now, but remember that time when you were a state senator? Before then, you weren't for that when you were attending Trinity. There's a video and you saying that shit too. Well. Come on now. Be more informed. That's all I'm telling you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Understand that people change positions, right? But don't deny that you said the shit. And if you deny that you said this shit, denial is a part of politics too. Yeah. Time to take a break, ain't it? It's 12 o'clock on Tuesday, election day. You better have your ass at somebody's poll. Not the stripper poll, but the other poll. Don't make it twerk, vote, and work. All right, let me stop. It's 12 o'clock. It's Tuesday. 75 degrees outside. It is November 3rd. Have your ass at the polls. We'll be right back with Trigger with Instructor Mike.
Is it really a good idea to have the same senator for 3 generations? I support term limit for all elected officials. Our senators need to bring home growth for our business community, jobs, housing, service for our senior citizens, and health care. We need new ideas and new approach to federal representation. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington, D.C. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Protected by women is going both ways. Trigger with Instructor Mike on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Oh, it's going both ways. When do you all stand up and say we are not about to sit here and let you tarnish the reputation of our brother, right? Whether he did good or not, let's be honest. Maybe we didn't reach out to Superintendent Johnson. Maybe we didn't attend the CAPS meetings. Maybe there were some things we could have done in the policing to be better. We don't want to make that admission, but we are not about to let you tarnish the reputation of a man simply because you did what some of us do. We fuck and then we go. You came or you didn't. Apparently, Johnson was good because you wanted the Oscar Mayer wiener. You were trying to get bars sucking on stars. I'm just saying, lady, you did what you wanted to do and you did it well. For 3 fucking years, who gets raped for that long? And you carry a gun every day. You see women who catch their spouses cheating and kill them right then and there. You had the power and the legal ability under 720 ILCS 5 section 7-1 in defense of yourself. You are authorized to use deadly force to stop a forcible felony, but it's hard to stop a forcible felony when you're sucking on it under a melody. I'm just saying, stop with the bullshit. Yeah, I'm not going. Only on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
WIFTBPN. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans, I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown him? Then crown her ass. I ain't scared of you, mother.
The one and only
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
I know I didn't hear him just say what I heard he said on the radio talking about sucking stars and bars and stuff. Man, what you got going on around here? Oh, it's your turn again. Come on back, Mike.
Y'all something. This is some shit. I don't know. Please continue to play that promo. Oh my God. Until that case falls, please, I'm begging you. I'll send stars for that shit to continue to fucking run. Because it's the truth. Oh, God, this is a great day. Probably one of my better shows. I can't get over that.
Tuesday and I'm here.
It is. Oh, my God. That's amazing. All right, those of y'all watching by YouTube,
and you better laugh. Tell my player, you better have your ass out there voting for Willie. And you know he has his own party. I didn't know Willie had his own party.
No, if he gets 5% of the vote.
Wow. Because it was like Willie Wilson, and everybody had their party. He was like, Willie Wilson party.
Fuck it, I don't need anybody else's party. It's my shit.
Right.
I got the PPE, and I got my own shit for you, and you better vote for me, or I'm going to have a party whooping your ass. I'm not going to whip you. You better vote for me, though. All right. I want to, you know what? What if he makes it? Let's just say, what if he makes it? I hope he does, right? But what if he makes it? That would be amazing.
I mean, we're going to be watching live.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. Sonya had to remind me. You did. I'm sorry. I was too busy laughing. Yes. Those of you all watching, make sure that you tune in tonight at 7 on the Mays Jackson page. What's in it for the Black People Media? You're going to have Herb Howard, Mays. I forgot who else is going to. Tucson. Yeah. Oh, if it's two. Yes. Yes. Oh, if you're going to have Todd there, you definitely going to have some analysis for sure. I'm going to watch. That's a great show. Watch the election results come in. Watch, hearing from perspectives from different sides. You know, you got Todd, who was actually the Cook County Board President, so he's well aware about politics and things like that. Walsh. Yeah, you got Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh, oh my God, yeah, former Republican, was a representative, a U.S. representative. You got Mays Jackson, and you got Herb Howard and Tucson Warner, so you got a lot of different perspectives. Damn.
And it's local, too.
And it's local. I'm watching the hell out that show. Yes, for sure. And you need to watch it tonight at 7 tonight. So when the polls close, not the other polls, but when the polls close, the other polls will open. But while you en route to those polls, watch this election coverage show at 7 p.m. on Mays Jackson's page, What's in It for the Black People Network. Go on ahead, send those stars. Look, I'm going to always still support this media network. It's just amazing. You got a lot of different shows here. I'm going to engage you all in the comments. Can someone have Willie people call my people? I need a business mentor. Absolutely. And if he wins, it would be nice to see some collaboration. You know, one thing I would have loved to have seen out of the Biden-Harris ticket was a Biden-Sanders ticket. Nothing against Kamala. Nothing against her. That's fine. It's not the woman thing. I don't care. I don't do gender-specific stuff, whatever. But it would have been nice to unite the party. Controversial, sure, but look at how many people Sanders was able to amass.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you talk about that, and then Biden, you talk about party unity, people who would have been like, all right, I mean, I like Biden, but I'll go with Sanders. It's kind of what the thing that you had in some presidential elections. You know, it would have been controversial because Sanders is does give everybody everything for free and, whatever. I would have liked to have seen that. Maybe it would have been a chance to win. I don't know. Mays probably has more of a perspective on that because there's things I will admit. I don't even know. And Ruth is going to be here too. Good. You said Joe Walsh learned what it is like, or what it was like to be a black man quick. Oh, yeah. Oh, he definitely learned. So let's make the rest of this a concealed carry show. I just want to talk about guns. Make sure that you're going out to vote and that you exercise your civic duty, and let's just watch and see what happens. Those of you all who are arming up to, hope that something doesn't happen. I'm just going to tell you this. I was watching the Chicago Board of Elections. I think one of the commissioners talk about voter intimidation. You're not really having voter intimidation in Chicago because Chicago is heavily populist, heavily Democratic. So you're probably not going to have those issues. The rest of the state, however, is Republican for sure. If you travel the state, you know that to be a fact. The rest of the state is Republican. So, if you vote down there, you might have some issues. But just be mindful, be watchful. Don't get in any arguments. Do you freaking hear me? Don't get in any arguments with somebody about their political views, right? Unless it's calm arguments. You both know you can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Don't get into any arguments. Look, none of these politicians are worth you fucking losing your life over. Because at the end of it, and when shit's over with, Trump is going to still be Trump. Biden may forget that he's Biden, but he's still going to be Joe Biden until the day he leaves this earth. It is what it is. Don't lose your life over none of these politicians. It is not worth it. It is not worth getting into any doggone fights, whatever the case may be. Whatever happens, look, just make sure that you watch your six, watch behind you, look left, look right, forward, back, stuff like that. Make sure that you call, check on your people, stuff like that. If you got people who live in other states, make sure you call and check on them and encourage them not to get in any fights. I'm watching videos on Facebook where people are damn near recording people coming towards them. Fool, why would you stand there and let someone close distance on you? Alvin, why would you let someone close the distance on you? That's fool's move. That's false courage. You thinking they're not going to harm you. These people who want to vote for Trump who are for violence, because not everybody who wants to vote for Trump is for violence. Those people who are for violence will fuck you up. That's it. You know damn well if you don't fight, sit your ass down. And even if you think you can win that fight, you can't win fights against all of them. I just don't want to hear about the violence. Don't get me wrong, I love violence. I love it. But it needs to be violence that's necessary. Don't get your ass whooped for some politician who probably doesn't even know your name, right? They need your vote. Whoever you vote for, that's fine. I don't care. That's your thing. But don't get your ass whooped for that, okay? Don't do that, all right? Concealed carry. How many of you all actually took a concealed carry class? How many of you all actually found yourself getting into a concealed carry class? You need to get trained. You need to get trained. Whether they win or not, whether your candidate wins or not, you still have a house that's unprotected. You still have your family that's unprotected as it relates to the ability to be able to stop deadly threats. Get yourself in a concealed carry class, or if you've been in a class before and you feel you need more training, get yourself trained some more. I got classes coming up. I got one this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got more classes coming up. And we don't just talk about violence. We talk about a lot of conflict avoidance. I got people watching who have been through my classes before. They know how I teach, and I want to learn something from you all. Saying something 1,000 times is not the same thing as living it once. And you have a bunch of people on Facebook commenting about, nice. You'll have some people commenting about what they would have done differently. I'm telling you, training gives you a different perspective that will help you understand how things turn the way it does, how things go the way it does. So I just want you all to make sure you find yourself in someone's concealed carry class. Also, shouts out to Nidra Williams, a great supporter of What's in It for the Black People. And, you can find my children's books at Solo Beauty Supply, 8158 South Cottage Grove in Chicago. That was my first time when I dropped off my books. I had never been there. I've driven by it plenty of times, but I've never been there. I went inside. Man, it is beautiful in there. It really, really is. It really, really is. So, Yeah, it really is. So go there and get some products and support her business. And you can get my children's books there. And Stuck in Fuck. That is not a children's book. Don't you read that to your kids until you need to read that to your kids. Okay. I'm just engaging with you all in the comments section. I think I already talked about, you said, please tour. Hey, Kim, what's going on? Who knows what's going to happen with COVID? So I don't know where I'm going to be able to tour and speak like that. But yeah, I'll definitely look at that option. I'm looking at some of your comments here. Yeah, just make sure that you do get into a concealed carry class. I can't keep reemphasizing that enough. And vote no for that option to ban or limit, in essence, the number of rounds that you have in your magazine. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you don't have enough gas to be able to go to Missouri, but your situation, your situation requires that you go to Missouri, but you don't have enough gas to make it to Riverdale out of Chicago. That's basically what you're voting for when you're voting for that proposition. Okay, so what questions do you have for me when it comes down to the concealed carry? You're watching through Facebook. I'm looking at the comments. I want your questions because I know you got them. Send them. All right, so do I need a lot of experience, gun experience, to take the concealed carry class? No, you don't. What you need, especially to take my concealed carry class, is, one, you need to be humble, okay? I love learning things from people when they have things to share. But if you don't know about guns, you need to be humble. That's one thing. And I'm not saying Adrian, I'm just saying just in general, okay? Because I have a lot to teach you, and you have a lot to teach me, but you got to come in there humble. Understand this. If you mess up, certain kinds of mess ups is going to trigger a certain response from me. Understand it? It's all love. I don't care about a 5-star rating, even though they're amazing. I love them. 5-star ratings are amazing. But I'd rather you give me a 1-star rating and I do something that saves your ass so that you're alive than give me a 5-star rating. And then when it's time for you to go out there and do that thing, or when you find yourself in a situation you're inadequately prepared because your foundation was shaky, you die. And that's the worst rating ever. Right? So understand that it's about saving your life. That, to me, is more important than a fucking rating and all the other shit. Okay? So that's one thing too. And we're going to have fun. You got to come with a sense of humor. You got to come with a sense of humor because I love to laugh in my classes. I don't like teaching dry ass classes. But when it comes down to physical tactics, I am going to take it back to my military and law enforcement days because that's how I was trained. That's how I know to train. This is not a basic pistol course. If you want, and that could be another piece of advice that I would give you. If you've never touched a firearm, get a firearm familiarization course, right? To where you can get I don't want to say a watered down version, but you can get a more softer, definitely more hands-on, one-on-one approach to learning how to use a firearm without any consideration as to whether or not you will carry it. There is a difference. I can teach you about the mechanics of the firearm and teach you how to punch holes in a piece of paper without worrying about if you're going to carry it, because carrying the firearm puts you in a different environment, gives you a different set of things that you have to quickly analyze under a stress that you will likely not feel on the range. Oh, yes, that's a wonderful question right there, Marco. Have I ever red flagged the student? Now, red flag in terms of red flag laws, if you're talking about where somebody should not be carrying a pistol, have I ever red flagged? No, not as a civilian in Illinois. In the military and in law enforcement, hell yeah. That's cops that should have never been carrying pistols, sure, for sure. But have I ever failed a student? Oh, plenty. I've certified way more than those that I have failed or kicked out. But there is a fuck Mike contingency in the city of Chicago and in the outlying suburbs of folks that don't like Mike Brown. Why? Because they got an attitude problem. They can't take correction. I was too tough on them, whatever the case might have been. And when they showed that and they showed the inability to learn, I don't care about the toughness that they have. I don't even care about the attitude. As long as I see you turning that anger for me into action to do the job, that's fine. My ego is not attached to any of this shit. But if I clearly see that you are fucking up and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, oh yes, 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 yes. I don't give a shit. Why? Because my name is on that certificate. When you apply for your concealed carry license, you have to enter my name and my certification number to get approved or get to the process to where you get approved. Those things are logged. So if there's a situation where you mess up, there is a high likelihood that if training is an issue or is at issue in a case, I could be called into court to have to testify as to why or how I trained you. And not even that one person, they can go so far back as to look at all of my students, and I have a lot of them, okay? And so they'll begin to ask questions. Well, how was Mike as a teacher? How was Mike as this? And you see Janessa Martin's comments in the feed. Mike is a rough-ass teacher. Mike is this. Mike is this. But he does it out of love. He does this. That's what I want for it to be known in the state. Yeah, I do teach the firearm familiarization classes, yes. And I do that one-on-one. But that's what I want it to be known around the state. I want people to know that, you know, you don't fuck around when it comes down to a gun in my class, because this is safety, you know, and that is very, very, very important. Don't get me wrong. I try to be as humorous and funny as the next person, but drill instructor will come out quick on you if you're not keeping that firearm in a safe direction. You know, keep your finger off the trigger, you know, assume every firearm is loaded, you know, knowing your backstop. And if you're giggling around or talking with the gun in your hand and you're just pointing at people, I'm going to snap. You know, if you're not the drill, you know, stuff like that, whatever the case may be, whatever you're doing, you know, it's like a tough football coach. I want you to win. And because I want you to win, and because I see something greater in you that you may not see in yourself, sometimes when you've been in the profession that I've been in, and you deal with our people, and not just our people, but let's talk about our people, because this is a black show, right? So when you deal with our people, different people come about guns differently. I could teach a class of white folks, and I may have to deal with certain issues, but certain issues are different in essence, because gun culture is ingrained in white culture, or however you want to say it, European white culture, whatever you want to say, right? It's ingrained in them. So they grew up with guns, or they got family members that grew up with guns. And then, you know, it's easy to teach them about the basics because they know the basics. So now I can focus on other things. And let's talk facts. They are going to come back for more training, because they're not just going to pay for what they need. They're going to pay for what they want. In my experience, and I'm sure it's not just me, I'm just more vocal about the black experience teaching black students than other instructors might be, because they're worried about, well, if I say this, it's going to be offensive and I'm not going to get classes. I don't give a fuck whether you come to me or not. I love it if you come to me, but if you don't come to me because you can't take the truth, that's one less problem I have in class. So long and short of it, we only get what we need, and some pay for more beyond what they need because they know they need more. Some people get a firearm because it's a sense of security. I told you Maslow all day. And I challenge you to prove me wrong. Maslow, I'm afraid of getting my ass whooped, so I'm going to get a gun and pack it. But I don't want to carry it illegally. I'm going to carry it legally. So I'm going to take this class and then have my gun. You know, without that gun, you wouldn't go down that alley. Now you got that gun, you go into all the dangerous hoods. You a new tourist in the city. You know, you going to Old Block, you going to the Village, you going to all the different places you would not go without that gun. And then when you get into some shit now, it's like, well, how'd I get my ass whooped? Well, fool, even with that gun, you did not belong there anyway. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, in that situation that with this gun and with this abusive person, you have no business being with this abusive person. But no one taught you about the fuckery that you are putting yourself in, but they did teach you how to use that gun so that when you put yourself in the fuckery, you could shoot your way out of it and then shoot your way into a cell. Do you see what I'm talking about? And so that becomes the problem, that where you have some fire, or a good percentage, I hate to say it, but a good percentage of firearms instructors who can definitely teach you. And I know, Janessa, you will attest to this, right? They could definitely teach you how to shoot and how to kill. When you come to my class, yeah, we talk about the shooting component, but I spend a lot of time talking about that healing component. So that second day is extremely critical, because if I don't get you to look at your motivations that affect your choices, you're going to continue to put yourself into situations that make it possible for you to use that gun because you don't have you control. Self-control. You get it. Right? So we focus on that too. And even in my can shoot versus must shoot or have to shoot versus want to shoot, I even changed that. Janessa, I think when Janessa attended the class, it was can shoot versus must shoot. Now I do have to shoot versus want to shoot because have to shoot means it's not personal, it's all business. Something startled me where I have to use deadly force and it's not personal, it's business. Pop, 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 tango down, move on. Where want to shoot is like, oh, I want to shoot your ass. So it's emotional based. I've turned the focus of it from statutory to more personal, where it's an analysis of you, the self. And so you'll get people asking in the class, well, shit, you've told me so much about, shooting and shooting and shooting. When do we get to learn when to shoot? I don't need to tell you when to shoot. You know when you can shoot. Your body has pre-primed instincts that will tell you, you better do something, right? But what I need to have you focus on is when not to shoot. When not to shoot. And you'll get a lot of students that talk just like the police. They can't wait to shoot some shit. Why? Out of the same fears that motivate the police to do the same thing. And then I point that out in class and they're like, damn, you're right. Yeah, I know. Because it's the same analysis. It's the same factors. It's the same commonalities, if you will, right? So, you need to go, yeah, Mario. You need to be in a class where it is definitely comprehensive. And I'm going to tell you this, 16 hours is, I see your questions. I'm going to go to your questions too. I got a lot of time. 16 hours is not enough. When people leave my class, and classes like mine, it's not a Mike Brown thing, whatever. When people leave classes like mine or my class, they hate that it's over with because they got so many more questions. They want to learn so much, and 16 hours just is not enough, but it's a strong foundation, and that's what you need to get, a strong foundation. Adrian Anderson asked the question, how do we lose that? My folks all had types of shotguns down south. They got up here and got scared. Yeah, well, when you are around politicians, and I got your question, Boosie, I'm going to answer your question. Shouts out to you for setting the 100 stars. When you get up here and you have people, representative democracy, representative government, when you have people telling you how to think, and then they keep throwing the things in front of us, right? Superintendent Brown, nothing necessarily against him, but he's playing to the position of his boss, right? Police Superintendent Lori Lightfoot. That's who the real superintendent is. It's not David Brown. The real superintendent is T.T. Lightfoot, okay? But every time, and you heard Eddie say it, you probably heard Phil Klein say it, you heard Gary McCarthy say it, you heard Jody Weiss say it, all the previous superintendent, hell, some of you all are old enough, you probably heard Fred Rice say it, or doggone Leroy Martin. When they talk about how many guns they've seized, my question is, how many of those guns that you seized were seized from legal gun owners just so you could boost up your numbers and make it think that Chicago is more violent than what it actually is? And then I will even double down on what Superintendent Brown even said, whereas you are spending so much time chastising the police, and the police are the only ones who are called to the carpet to have to answer for the problems that we have in our community. And if the police are the only ones you have here on the podium, nothing is going to change. Oh my God, no truer words have been spoken. We still have yet to address these bad homes. We still have yet to, you'll blame the shit out of DCFS for alleged or actual negligence, but you won't say anything about the parents who are fucking up at home, right? Who are messing up at home and making it possible for these kids whom they fucked to create, right? Right? Whatever the situation was, right? The child is here. And so you're fucking up, but we want to hold the police accountable. We don't want to make those admissions. Oh my God, this last class was so beautiful. Oh my God, it really was. It was because, I love all my classes. I really do. But this last one, it was really wonderful. We had a couple of mom-daughter teams, and we were talking about family stuff, domestic stuff, because typically that's where your problems stem from, stuff in the home, right? And so Janessa and her mom, I believe, was there in class, I believe. But we typically have those problems at home. And so you got one situation where she was talking about how her mom, the daughter, was whooping her child or about to whoop her child for something she had done wrong. And then the child went to her mom, sitting right over here, and she was like, well, when I did this when I was a kid, you whooped me. How do you gonna sit there and tell me what to do? Don't tell me what to do. When it comes out to me raising my kid, I'll raise my kid the way I want to raise my kid. And so I was like, that it was healthy because the mom and the daughter was not arguing. They weren't arguing. But it was healthy because the mom allowed the daughter to express herself without any fear of being punished, which is amazing because your kid's got a lot to teach you. And so I was like, Mom, I got you. Just hang tight. And she was wondering why I'm trying to get my terms right. I'm sorry. Mom was treating the grandchild different than she treated her daughter. And I was like, well, you have to understand this. That's the perfect opportunity for you to ask questions to your mom, that same question, because then your mom will then teach you how to be a better parent, because she admitted in class she had you when she was young. So she didn't know how to parent you. And so the ass whooping may have not have necessarily been something that you did, but something that you did that triggered a memory which caused her to lash out on you. And so now your mom knows that was the wrong way to do, but she may not know how to address it to you because it's a sense of pain and hurt that is going to affect her. And though that pain needs to happen, she'd rather fix it through her child, so that now you're here to hear me tell you that you need to ask her that, so then she can begin to teach you how to be a better parent, so that you can stop whooping your child thinking that's the answer and start having things to teach. Because when you got shit to teach, who got time to beat ass? You have never seen somebody take a class with me who said Mike was tough and he beat my ass in class. Yeah, I don't have time to whoop ass when I got things to teach. Right? And then there's no guarantee that if I attempt to whoop your ass, I'm going to succeed. So when it comes to violence, no one really wins. But when it comes to lessons, there's always things you can learn. There's always things you can learn. And I love that because they don't expect to hear that in a concealed carry class. This is a violence-laden class. This is a class where violence reigns supreme, but you don't hear choices or motivations that motivate the choices that we make because of the walls that are built up because of the traumas that we have in our homes. You can't police your way out of that shit. You can't state's attorney your way out of that shit. Speaking of the state's attorney's race, let me tell you one thing that kind of did it for me when it came to Kim. Not the Jesse Smollett thing. Fuck that guy. Whatever. She should have hung his ass. Not literally, but he tried to hang himself. Whatever. But there was a thing, and I got the receipts. Don't make me prove that shit because I can do it. But there was a gun control seminar that the state's attorney's office had contacted me about. Okay. The assistant state's attorney and the community advocate, I think it was a West Side initiative. They had contacted me because I have a platform on social media, and I was honored, regardless of what I feel about Kim Foxx professionally. I was honored to be a part of that because I had never seen that in my lifetime, that a prosecutor's office wanted to take the initiative to teach people about the proper ways to use a gun, not necessarily use it, but to definitely secure that gun, to secure it and to make sure that you understand it and understand about the locks and how to lock it. And I was on board. The things for me are mutually exclusive. But then when it came down to that final moment to actually do it, they scrapped the whole thing. I later found out that she learned about who I was. She learned about the things that I had said, and her ego got the best of her, and she decided to scrap the whole thing. And you never seen it ever get aired or whatever. It was supposed to be a Zoom thing, shared. It was supposed to be aired or whatever. You never heard about that even coming out. And to me, that was a no-go. So I did not vote for Kim. I cannot vote for someone who has selective reform. We got enough conditional love going on around in our communities and our homes. Well, I'm going to love you if you do this, or I'm going to love you if you do that. I'm going to love you if you do this. This ain't about me or you, Kim. I don't fucking know you. But this is about the community that needs to be educated. And you had an opportunity to take a step and educate the people who don't know about guns, and it coming from your office would have meant everything, but your ego got connected to that position where fuck Mike Brown. I got it. Even if you would have had someone else do that part where I was supposed to do that, I would have still been like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, because my ego isn't connected to it. I don't give a shit. As long as it's done, you get the damn job done. You get the job done. You want to talk about reform? The education is the fucking reform. That's the reform. You can't have selective fucking reform. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Education in our classes. You know who controls the education of what we learn in our state reps and people who listen to other education? You're right, Marco. They don't want them to know, so it was scrapped. So that the more you don't know, now we can lock you up and claim, well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, shit. Why not just give everybody driver's licenses? Well, no, we require that you get training for that because we don't want you to fuck up somebody else's shit. Well, that should be the same thing for guns. Right? But no, I want to keep you blind. That part. Education, right? Why don't we learn about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Why don't we learn about that in our schools? But our kids are starting to learn about LGBT history. Now, if you like that, that's fine. It's your thing. I don't care. God bless America. But we should know about the things. Yeah. That's messed up. Yeah, we learn about dicks, but we don't learn about DuSable. That's 2 Ds. You get what I'm saying. We're going to take a break. And we will be back with Trigger with Instructor Mike.
Tonight, your voice is heard.
Your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have to create a more perfect union.
Tonight, change happens.
And so all men of goodwill will go to the polls on November the 3rd. And I hope we will have a great day in our nation so that when we wake up on the 4th of November, we will know that America has made the right decision.
Mark your calendars for What's in It for the Black People Media special election night coverage. This is the nation's only culturally specific digital platform that respects the black community's diverse viewpoints. We're here for you. Tonight, the only place to stay on top of 2020 election night coverage is on the Maze Jackson page on Facebook and Maze Jackson on YouTube. It all starts tonight at 7.
You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote.
Whatever happened to you falling in that grocery store?
Your guess is as good as mine. My auntie said she knew someone. I gave her all the information, but that was 3 weeks ago and I still haven't heard anything.
You still got time to talk to the lawyers at the CLN.
The CLN? What's that?
It's the Chicago Legal Network, a group of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of law, especially the laws most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. Plus, all the lawyers at the CLN all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community.
Sounds like I definitely need to contact them.
Say less. I can text you everything you need to know. So if you're ever injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. That's 773-912-3545. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation.
Are you ready for some authentic, delicious street tacos on the south side of Chicago? Stop by for the launch of Sissy's Taco Bar pop-up at 312 East 75th Street on Thursdays and Fridays, starting November 5th from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Experience their jerk chicken, sriracha shrimp, and blackened salmon tacos. And don't forget to ask about their Rome walking taco, Sissy street corn, and children's meal that comes with a special price. Visit sissytacobar.com for more information.
WIFTBPN. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
And so, my fellow Americans, I have a dream.
You're listening to Trigger.
You want to crown him? Then crown their ass. I ain't scared of you, mother. The one and only.
Mike Brown.
My calculations are correct.
Let's begin.
Hi, my name is Willie Wilson, and I'm doing this commercial to talk about concealed carry classes with Mike Brown. Now, he was sitting here talking all this shit about me, but you know what? I'm down from down south, and I will pop a cap in a person's ass. So if you don't vote for me, or if I win, you motherfuckers go ahead and try it if you... I don't cuss, do I? So you got to bleep that out. Can you bleep that out, please? Let's go ahead, Mike. Let's start your show. Oh, my God. Please don't give me Dr. Wilson. Please don't give me. He's like, I'm watching your ass.
I got the twins in here.
And the ass is in the Bible. It says, I rode in a town on an ass. That was Jesus. All right. You've been watching Triggered with Mike Brown. I am your soon-to-be dead instructor, Mike. Oh, shit. Vote for him and give him a chance. I want to see Tricky Dick lose. Because I'm sorry. I saw that ad that came in the mail, and he's right on the tails of Obama. Still, like, dude, you don't have nothing.
What you been doing? Let me stop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
You triggering me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Right. Is it the same that we should have had the same motherfucker in office for 3 decades? We need to have somebody. I said motherfucker, didn't I? So you got to have that bleep button, but I got to sit there and hold up when I'm getting ready to say it. 'Cause that's what I really want to say, but I can't because I'm Willie Wilson. Look, Dr. Wilson, don't hit me. Don't give me the bad PPE. All right. Shouts out to Dr. Wilson. Hopefully you all are voting for him and giving him a chance. I don't even know who the other people on the ticket are. I know who Dick Durbin is. Who doesn't know what Dick is? Pun intended. Let's keep going. All right. Flew over your head, literally. Pun intended, too. All right. Make sure you get in somebody's concealed carry class. I don't care if it's not mine, that's fine. But make sure when you get in a concealed carry class that it's going to be wholesome. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about conflict avoidance. And I'm going to give you, again, the, tips, even for today, for election, say, my name is Willie Wilson, and I approve this ass whooping. Vote for... Look, make sure that you stay in pairs, watch each other's back, stuff like that, because we don't know what the outcome of the election is going to be tonight, but riots are possible. It is. I hope it doesn't happen, but it is possible. So, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Shouts out to Scotty. Damn, he gave like 4,465 stars. Thank you very much for that, Scotty. Thank you very much for that. And send the stars. That supports great content on this page. If you're watching on YouTube, go on and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you like the Mae Jackson page, and make sure you tune in tonight. I know the hell I am, because I like Herb, I like Tu, and we ain't gotta agree on everything. That's not the fucking point. The point is to learn shit. And, Herb Howard and Tucson Warner from I Said What I Said, they're going to be there. Joe Walsh, Mays is going to be there. Ruthie's going to be there. Of course, the conductor, Sonia Escobar. She's in the house. You're going to have so many, Todd Stroger, former Cook County Board President. You're going to have so many people, a local show. I'd rather watch a local show with local opinions about local shit, because if you've been paying attention to the ticket, the whole ticket is damn near local, except a few at the top. You're talking about judges, state's attorney's race. That's a hot race. If you've been driving through Beverly or Mount Greenwood, you know who they're voting for, because it's in the lawn. They are really voting for Pat O'Brien.
And some people think that is, well, I'm voting Republican. They're not voting Republican. They're voting Pat. That's what that is. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And if she wins, then okay, that's great. Look, if she wins, Kim, I swear to God, if you're watching this, I love you. I remember in December, you may not remember my face. I got the picture, but you know, I attended, and your reforms and the things that you are doing are beautiful. But you got to spank some of our kids' asses, because some of the shit that they doing is just fucking just ridiculous. Now, you can't be about reform when you don't tag that ass, okay? Because that's how these riots happen. How the fuck did they mess up shit in our hood? No ass whooping? Come on now. We can't do that. We can't do that, okay? We can't do that. You got to spank some ass, okay? Don't get me wrong. It don't have to always be a extension cord spanking, but at least a nice smack across the backside of some shit. You got to do something, okay? And then get that gun reform education thing back going. Fuck it, you don't have to use me. That's fine. Fuck Mike Brown. Find somebody that speaks your language. Get that gun education shit. I was there, like really, really there. Get somebody who could educate the people. A lot of us don't know about gun shit. We just don't know. And you have a responsibility, Kim. You got a responsibility. Don't be talking about, well, they just want to lock folks up. You know, education or miseducation or no education leads to cases that make it where you decide not to prosecute or whatever the case may have been. But let's do some intervention. Education is that intervention. There are plenty of instructors who probably love you more than I do, I guess, whatever. I don't have no problem with you, but they will help. Come on, man. I hate that shit. Come on, educate the people. Educate the people. I want to see some seminars. Do like what Dorothy Brown does with the, and I'm not saying Dorothy's good or bad, whatever you think, whatever's, but I love the expungement summits that she does. I love that, right? The expungement summits, I love that. Hold a Know Your Rights seminar. And if you do, your advertisement is shitty because I don't ever see it. I'm all over Facebook. Hold a Know Your Rights seminar. Teach people about, judge recusals, what I just talked to them about, when you got bad judges and, how that stuff works. Teach the people. Teach the people. I've always questioned that. The one judicial forum that I went to, I had the questions ready to ask. Like, you all want somebody to vote for you. Where are the Know Your Rights seminars? But I want you to understand the criminal justice system needs victims. They are not going to tell you the shit that will lead to you not being a victim because they depend on you being a victim. They depend on you being an actual victim that makes them relevant. If I know you don't know how to protect you, that makes me relevant in trying to protect you, but I'm not really protecting you. I'm giving you the feeling of protection while the actual protection is missing. I'm just saying, right? Let's change the outcome. Let's demand more of our elected officials besides a smile, a fucking chicken dinner, and the sweat from a basketball game. We got to do more. We got to do more. We got to do more. All right? We got to do more. I'm all for education, and if those of you all who are biblical folks, if God can speak through an ass, you're a donkey, then I guess he can speak through somebody else who is an ass. I'm just saying, we gotta want more. We gotta want more. And other communities, they want representatives who will actually do the will of the people. And if they don't do the will of the people, they get their asses out. We have to do the same thing, right? We sit here and talk about the vote is the most powerful thing that you have nonviolently. You just heard Martin Luther King say that it's the most powerful nonviolent tool you have, right? And if that is in fact the case, right, hold their feet to the fire, right? Don't let them just come around and interrupt your fucking day, interrupt your, I seen one person passing out leaflets and stuff trying to enter into the apartment complex that I was in. I'm like, no, what are you doing? You can't just walk up in here. Well, no, I said, walk your ass up before you get locked up and I take your leaflets and throw that shit somewhere else. I said, you can't just enter someone's property like that without having permission. And she got an attitude. I don't give a shit. I lock your ass up. I don't care. I don't have to be the police. I'll lock your ass up. It's called a citizen's arrest and you are unlawfully trespassing. Come on. We got to demand better. And she wouldn't have had that attitude because she's a representative of the person who she's passing those leaflets out. That's a negative thing. Come on, man. We got to do better. Shouts out to Mario for sending 50 stars. Greg for sending 200. Angela Williams for sending 50. Appreciate that. Just send more stars, and it just keeps content like this going. When you go out there and you vote, make sure that you're informed. It's nothing wrong with doing a quick-ass Google search if you don't know, which you should. Do a quick Google search, read up on some articles, read up on some things, talk to some people who know. Who doesn't have a family member who hasn't been arrested? What was your judge's name? How did the judge treat you? Did you pay attention to that stuff? They got traumas. They got stories. They got things they can tell you. We got to be more informed. We got to be more informed, right? This time you may let the judges slide because it's a little too late. Shit's happening today. Why don't we have judge forums? They're not in the position to say no. Well, my schedule is too busy. Or my vote is too fucking busy. You want to win, you're going to bring your ass, and we're going to have this forum, and we're going to ask you some questions. Now, understand this. There are certain canons of judicial ethics that they have to abide by. That's what some people, even Tricky Dick Durbin, sat there and did not understand about even a justice or then judge Amy Coney Barrett. Some things some positions they cannot take because they are a sitting judge. They cannot take a position on certain things because if they take a position, they are no longer detached and neutral. They are attached and have a side. So it automatically triggers a recusal in the event an issue for which they have on the record taken a side that they now have to recuse themselves from because they cannot look at the facts because they've already chosen a side before they had a chance to analyze the facts. So just take that into consideration, but they still can state certain things about maybe why we don't have know your rights classes. And there's no excuse. You got other judges in other states, like there's a Maryland judge who used to be on The Wire, who played an attorney on The Wire. HBO's The Wire, if you've ever seen it. He's held Know Your Rights seminars. It's nothing, they got no problem going around and asking you for your vote, right? But they can't, well, why don't you teach people about their rights? That's not a position. That's what's actually in the law. Miranda versus Arizona, 384 U.S. 436, 1966. Teach about that. When I was going through my undergrad at Chicago State, I had a judge, a sitting judge, an actual sitting judge who was teaching trial practice in the classroom. Now, it's a shame I should have to pay thousands of dollars to sit my ass in a class to learn about trial practice. But you can't tell me that judges don't teach. Judges teach in law school. So why are they not reaching out to the community and teaching the people, even if it is a class in their sub-circuit or a class where they hold whatever their trials are? Why are they not teaching the people? They want your vote. What the fuck are we getting back for it? And that's all that Ice Cube was fucking saying. What are we getting back for it? You want this. We want this. You want my vote. I want you to be able to commit to teaching. And if you can't commit to teaching the people our rights, they're not going to talk about a pending case. Don't go then, well, my cousin had been arrested and they can't talk about that. But they could teach you your rights. Dumb that shit down. Now they begin to understand the people and they begin to foster relationships with the people. So here we go. You said they all teach. You have judges and attorneys that are professors. Yes, Janessa, but they're not in they all teach, but they're not in the, look at how many thousands of dollars you got to spend just to go sit at one of these classes. My concealed carry class, and those of you all who have sat in my class, how many of you can say that you've learned more than you possibly knew? How many of you can say that even in watching this, you learned something that you did not know? Whether you like me or not, you still learned something, and what did it cost? Come on, man. What did it cost? It didn't cost shit. A person who has knowledge, who wants to teach you, loves to talk and loves to teach. Hold their feet to the fire. You want our vote. This is what we want. We want to know our rights. You want our vote. You are a black judge. You are a white judge, whatever. You want our vote. This is what we want. This is what we want. And I shouldn't have to pay thousands of dollars to get it, right? Granted, it may make you irrelevant, but not really, because the courts need to have judges. And there's always going to be people that, even though they know the law, they're still going to do stuff that's against the law. That's fine. But teach us. Teach us. We got to demand more, okay? All right. Yeah, this has been a great show. You guys have been hanging out. You said I'm dropping soap off. I couldn't finish my sentence. Yeah, they aren't in the hood, though. You're right. You're right. They aren't in the hood. You know, I've learned so many are disconnected from the very people they serve. You're right. You know, I have to say that there was one professor, won't say his or her name, but there's one professor where when she was, well, I just fucking said she. I just cut that out, right? When she was going, and not Professor Perkins, no, somebody else. When she was going for the judge or the judicial seat in Cook County, she wouldn't even mention about the university that she taught at. What are you fucking embarrassed for? You taught there. You taught there. Like, talk about that shit. And for me, I was disappointed. I was sad. I was very sad. Like, the fuck? You were a wonderful professor when I was there. Why aren't you saying shit about you taught there and how many people's lives you've impacted by educating people? The fuck is a secret about that shit? It's a part of who you are, you know? And if we knew that, once you ring a bell, you can't unring it. So that will remain on your conscience so that when you go into that booth and you see that, you can make an informed decision based on your interest, not what someone else tells you. Because their experience may be different from yours. All right? This one judge was nice to you, but then treated thousands of other black defendants, this black judge, thousands of other black defendants like shit. I'll shout out another name, Judge Tommy Brewer. Shouts out to him, right? He's in the domestic violence division. I think he might be the presiding judge out there in Markham District, 6th District. Guy's amazing. Don't go in there with a bullshit story. Oh, my God. Do not go into his courthouse with a bullshit story trying to think that you're going to get him to get an order of protection on your bullshit story. He can smell the bullshit coming from a mile away. Judge Tommy Brewer is amazing. You see what I'm saying? And those stories right there, seeing the judges in action, in their job, in the community, doing actual justice. And justice doesn't always mean it plays to your favor, right? Sometimes the justice could be against what you actually want. But as long as the decision is fair, right? Which means you have to educate yourself so that you can understand what the procedure is to determine this thing called fairness, right? So then there's that component too. But fairness, right, in the ability to be able to judge using common sense, the applicability of the law, you know, and understanding different options that could be used. It's just amazing. It really is. So this election, it is what it is. Vote your interest, whatever the case may be. If you want to vote down a ticket and somebody tells you to do that, fuck it. That's your thing, whatever. But we got to start doing better. We got to start doing better in terms of being better informed. We got state reps, state senators. We got U.S. reps, U.S. senators. Well, not senators. That's this race. But we got other elections coming up. 2 years. We got it coming up. Right. We got, yeah, you know it, Judge Tommy Brewer. Oh, yeah. Don't go into his courtroom with bullshit. Don't do that. For those of you all watching, make sure that you pay attention or that you watch tonight at 7 p.m. What's in it for the Black People Media Network presents the election show. Before you go to the other polls, watch what's happening during the election polls tonight. You got Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger, Ruthie. You got Sonia Escobar. You got Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner, Joe Walsh. Who else is going to be there? Partridge in a Pear Tree. It's not Christmas yet. I know some of y'all are shopping for Christmas, and you should be starting now shopping for Christmas so that you can save. But you get what I'm saying. Watch it tonight. I'm going to be tuning in. If you want to know what's going on, a local perspective about some of the local races. You said what? Yeah. Who? Jesus?
Black.
Oh, black. Sure. Definitely black. I thought you said Jesus was going to watch. He's watching too.
And I'm watching too because I want to know if I win. Because if I don't, I'm fucking you up, Mike. I swear to God. And the rest of y'all watching, put some stars if you want to see me whoop Mike ass.
That was Willie speaking through me. Thanks for that, Kenneth. And Tammy Duckworth is up next. She's up next. So if we want to make the kind of change that we need to make in our communities with the representatives that we have that really affect the decisions or really affect the things that go on in our community, right? we need to go ahead and pay attention. Make sure that you shop your small businesses and shop local first. Okay, who knows what's going to happen and stuff like that. And yes, we are going to probably be shut down in this quarantine, okay, in this COVID stuff. No one has found a solution. Jesus. But make sure that you shop small, shop local, okay, shop black. Shop, just shop good, okay? Shop black, shop good, shop small, shop local, stock up on things, okay? And for crying out loud, COVID is not an anus issue, so you don't need thousands of rolls of toilet paper. For the record, okay? It's a respiratory illness, not a butthole illness, okay? So save the toilet paper for some people who really have ass issues, okay? But stock up, because 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to fuck up. TT Lori's going to shut shit down, and we're going to be back to square one just like last year, okay, or earlier this year. For me, you said Willie to Washington. Yes, vote for Willie Wilson. Don't do a Willie Wilson versus Mike Brown. I'm not going. I'm not watching. He ain't going to whoop my ass. Don't let his speech thing, he probably know how to fight.
Yeah, you better know it too. I punched several fuckers out before. I didn't get to this age by this being, you get it. All right, I'm out.
All right, watch it tonight. We said, Kid, you better watch it, Mike. Word on the street is that Willie Wilson is a man of God, but hands of Satan. I can't. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Trigger Mike. See you all Thursday.